Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope that you've had a great week and that you have a wonderful weekend planned. In the boot camp, we talk about how if we're not getting our personal needs met outside our practices, that we strive to get our needs met inside our practices. And then we come to our chiropractic table needy. The need to be right, the need to be liked, the need to have fun, the need for expression. Like all of that is to be done outside of our practices, or else what we're really doing is asking our practice members to pay us to have our needs met. That's not a very good feeling whatsoever. And I'm super excited to have Dr. Bethany with me today. I have had the pleasure of watching this woman just grow by leaps and bounds over the last 2 years. And her attitude is always yes. Like anything that we do in the boot camp, she's like, I'm in. I want to do this. I want to grow. I want to have a better practice and make a bigger impact in my community. So, Dr. Bethany, welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. So, our 3 tips for growing a one woman show. The first one, connections in the community. So, what do you do differently, or how do you do that well?
So I really try to look at the person in the family and the community um, as what their needs need to be met. And so I like to connect my practice members with other members of the community to help fulfill whatever they need. So that's the biggest way. And to just help out, like I like to volunteer a lot. And so um, just a couple of weeks ago, I did a trunk or treating event for the local neighborhood and had so much fun. And I did a food drive in August for an elementary school that has a food pantry. So it's just about building those connections and helping people um, help others.
You know what I love about that? Number one, it shows your heart. And number two, like the idea of get your name out there. There is an element of get your name out there, but there's an element, there's a way that works and there's a way that is just going to cost you a bunch of money. And I love how instead of like throwing good money after bad advertising, you're like, you know what? I'm the best source of knowing about my practice that there is. So instead of just throwing money away at maybe sponsoring this event or this thing or that thing, you're like, I'm going to get involved and I'm going to let people feel my brand by volunteering alongside them. So great job. And to all of you, we either share our time, our treasures, or our talents. And so, especially when we're new to practice, instead of throwing away money at advertising that, you know, um, now you're competing with everyone, but let them feel you by volunteering, and let them see how committed you are to the community. So great job on that one. Number two, stay organized with systems. Tell me more.
So being a one woman show, sometimes it can get chaotic.
Yes.
And so just using systems to keep you organized um, so that you can keep in flow. I think that's the biggest aspect. And now that I'm talking about this a little bit more, I think it actually segues really good into our third one because the boot camp, using it, it gave me all the systems that I needed to apply and stay organized. And the sprint that we do in the spring and the fall just helps to fuel going back to those systems, because there for a little while I was feeling a little discombobulated and unorganized. And so the sprint has just helped me to refocus my organization, refocus on my systems, and use the support system that I have there for me all the time.
Yes, I love that. And let's talk a few minutes about invest in your own support system. Like, how is your experience in the boot camp different than a support system of, let's say, just like a free page, whether it's a free women's chiropractic page or a free page attached to the school that you went to, or some other free page. How is the boot camp different than that support system?
So I do love those groups too. The biggest difference that I feel is that the boot camp, everybody is so willing to share. So whether it's forms or documents or something that they've learned, everybody is so willing to just be like, here, take this and use it. Um, and on top of that, you I don't know, there's just a connection between individuals that you talk to and you see on a regular basis versus anybody in the other groups.
There's a level of know, like, and trust,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
When we've all spent a weekend together, right? And when we see each other every week. You know what? I hadn't ever really put words to it before, but you're so right that one of the big differences is just the level of relationship or the depth of relationship. Like, if you don't want to make authentic connections with other chiropractors, don't become a boot camper.
No.
Like, wrong environment, because we go deep with one another, we take off the masquerades, like, we're just all in all aspects, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's no holds barred, in the boot camp, and so if you're looking for superficial relationships, this is not
No.
the place for you at all.
Not at all.
Um and with that in mind and the sprint in mind, and even like you and I discussed before we got started this morning, of people don't decide their futures. They choose their habits, and their habits create their futures. Like, put that into the context in the realm of the Ultimate Marketing Boot Camp and the Branding Style Guide workshop, and then we just have done 3 hours, because they went over, of deciding your 6 month goal and the package associated with that. Like, how has changing your identity or who you see yourself as, how is that framing your future?
So before working on the branding guide and the ultimate marketing bootcamp stuff, I had this idea of what I wanted to create in my office, but I didn't know how to put words to it or um, make it cohesive. And so I feel like working through those things and the different quizzes that we did, um, put words to it. And it made me so happy that I'm already doing it, but I just didn't know how to bring it together. And so that really helped me to bring it together, which in the future, then for creating habits and how it's going to create my future is I can now be cohesive amongst all my messages that I've been just willy nilly throwing out there. Um, but now there'll be cohesion to it and I'll be able to reach my audience better.
Oh, nailed it again. Like, yeah, cohesiveness, instead of feeling like a little over here and a little over there, which never feels good in any aspect of our life, right? To be like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So the archetype is what Bethany's talking about here. We went through, like, what is your business archetype, your primary and secondary, and then we talked about that. And I think that was kind of everyone's response, like, oh my goodness, now there's more like intentionality behind what you do, how you do it. And do you see too, it's going to make it replication so much easier.
Yeah.
Very cool. So as we wrap this up, what final words do you want to share with somebody who, and let's speak to the person who um is maybe already a boot camper and they didn't sign up for the Ultimate Marketing Boot Camp yet.
I would just say, just jump in and do it. Um, this will be my second year doing it. And I feel like every year you get gems that you can put into practice right now. And I feel like that with all of the boot camp events that I've been to. Every single one of them gives you action steps that you can do right now. And I really like that. So
Yeah.
just do it. Jump on
Yeah,
board.
just come and do it. It really and truly, and I'll make sure that I put the link as well in the comment section. And when you go to when you when you go and look, yeah, the price is going to be higher than what you've probably seen other events, but here's what it includes. It includes all of your food. So you don't have to budget for going out to meals. And Bethany can attest to last year, if you know much about me, then here's the deal. I don't want anyone to ever be left out. So what happens then when we have an event is now, trying to have 40 of us come together for dinner randomly, like it's just really, really difficult. And so I wanted to remove the decisions that you have to make, and the plans you have to make when we get to an event. So your boot camp, your ticket to the Ultimate Marketing Boot Camp includes your food, your lodging Wednesday through Sunday morning, your fun, the materials, the opportunity to connect, your adult beverages, healthy snacks. I've hired a private chef who has created our menu. It's gluten-free, dairy-free. It's like, all of the stuff we're just going to be eating air. No, no, not really. And so grab your ticket and come and join us. You've been nudged enough. Now jump in. And here's the deal. If you come and you don't think you're getting your money's worth, let me know. I'll refund. I'm so confident. Even if you just did the branding style guide and the workshop that we did yesterday and today, that is more than the value that you're paying for the ticket. We haven't even gotten to the event yet. So if you haven't grabbed your seat yet at the Ultimate Marketing Boot Camp, I can promise you you're missing out. And every time I do this event, we take it up another level. So, Bethany, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being a part of my tribe. And I get to see you in just a few weeks. I
Yay!
cannot wait. So, thank you so much. Congratulations to you for doing a great job in your community. And to all of you, thanks for joining us today. Bye.